All right, welcome back to Flex Talks, the podcast, episode 300. Today on the show, we just found out that 3% of Venezuela's population came here under Joe Biden. We're going to tell you why we're upping our migrant numbers. Then, the most violent and unhinged people at the No Kings protest were educators. We're going to go over the highlights from that. Then in Cringe of the Week, Monkey Pox is back, baby, yeah. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have a 15-year-old repeat offender that has been arrested 111 times. Not good. All this and more, it's Flex Talks, the podcast, episode 300, ranked the best snooze podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's What the Stocks the podcast featuring Richard Bradford.
All right, 1 for 1 on the intro as always. Guys, what if I told you you could win $100,000 worth of pure gold, but only if you act before December 2nd? Our friends at Undertac, makers of the world's most comfortable tactical underwear, have partnered with Shared Sweeps to give you a shot at a life-changing prize. Real gold worth $100,000. For every dollar you spend at undertac.com, you will get a sweepstake entry. Some items give 2x, 3x, or even up to 5x entries. You can stack up to 7,500 entries total, but remember, the more you shop now, the better your odds. Use the code FLECUSWIN at checkout and you'll score 10% off instantly, plus entries into the sweepstake. Every purchase today saves you money and locks in your chance at $100,000 in real gold. You're not just chasing a prize, you're upgrading to gear built to perform. Undertac boxers wick moisture 50% better than cotton. Their American-made socks are built tough enough for any mission, and their hoodies and tees deliver comfort you'll want to live in. This giveaway ends December 2nd, so don't miss out. Stock up now, enjoy the premium gear that works as hard as you do, and lock in those entries for $100,000 in gold. Go to undertac.com, that's UNDERTAC.com. Offer code FLECUSWIN for 10% off and sweepstake entries. Gear up and enter now. See site for more details. All right, thank you to Undertac for sponsoring.
Thank you, Undertac.
Hey, episode 300.
We made it.
We did it.
Yeah, we did.
It feels good. We just kept showing up. We live in some sort of like Groundhog's Day, Truman Show loop.
Yeah.
But here we are.
I wonder if that's how most other people with shows feel, if they're in a Groundhog's Day scenario. Because, I mean, that's pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have shows.
You just keep going, and it's always, oh, we got to prep for the show. Oh, the show's tomorrow. Show's today. Show's yesterday. Show's tomorrow. Show's today.
Any sign of fatigue? You tired? You
No. I could go another 300.
I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
There's new stuff always happening, new jokes, good funny shit.
It feels good.
Yeah.
And I have all the scripts here. There's all 300 scripts. Rap Boy tries to get me to throw them away.
You guys know me and Fleckers don't talk outside of the show. We like are total enemies now.
Yeah.
We don't talk. We just put on a show for you guys.
He just shows up twice a week. And we fake it.
Yeah.
In uplifting gold today, we're
Oh, yeah, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow past your 300 scripts. You know we're on recorded YouTube on video. You don't need the scripts after the fact. That's my only argument is when you have another thing that also represents all the same bits and schizo writings and things, but it's on TV, that replaced the scripts. That's just paper now.
But you can't throw away money.
You have to move. You have to move, and there's like 2 heavy boxes every time you move.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Those are like the most important things. If there was a fire in the house,
It would ruin the house. It would accelerate the fire.
I would grab it first. That's like one of the first things I grab.
I don't get it. Guys, what do you think? Is that important?
I think it's history.
You should give them away. Give them away to some people, and then they would just clutter up a drawer in their house with it. That's what I'm saying. It's
Well, if the price was right, I'd maybe give it away.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah.
But in uplifting gold today, we're gonna go over some of my favorite lore from the show, and we also have a nice compilation, a looking back. So all of uplifting gold is gonna be that. But yes, we are very grateful. We couldn't have done 300 episodes without you guys. We love you guys, and that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, for real. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for supporting. So let's get into the show, episode 300. First things first, they found a Trump assassination perch in Palm Beach.
Yeah, the U.S. Secret Service discovered a suspicious hunting stand positioned with a clear view of the area where President Trump disembarks from Air Force One at Palm Beach International. According to Fox, they gave a statement. The U.S. Secret Service discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand with a line of sight to Air Force One landing zone, Kash Patel said.
Yeah, and there's not much hunting to do at the Palm Beach airport.
Yeah, there's, I guess some birds might come into the play, but you can see the overhead view here. It's literally just a small patch of trees, and that's the only natural foliage there. So this was an assassination kit, for sure.
I agree. Yeah. So I'm glad they caught that one. Let's move on to our little Mamdani section. We have a bunch of races coming up.
Okay.
Mamdani is the first one we're going to talk about. He had a recent picture after one of his events, and then you can see here it's him and a bunch of brown people.
Yeah, a horde of brown people, and then one white girl who clearly looks liberal at the front.
It might be a Jewish person.
I would say so. I
wasn't
going to bring it up.
That's what it looks like to me.
It does look like that, yeah.
And it actually makes sense when you look at this picture compared to the new polling. This is kind of like the whole goal and the whole point.
Yeah, the 2025 New York City mayor election poll among American-born New Yorkers, Cuomo's polling at 40%, Mamdani at 31%. Among foreign-born New Yorkers, Mamdani runs away with it, 62%, and Cuomo 24%.
So that's kind of the new business model.
Yeah.
They load you up with foreigners, and they tell the foreigners, hey, this guy's going to help you. The other guy wants you out.
Have you seen him eat with his hands? Have you seen this idiot eat with his hands? He's like you.
Yeah, here he is doing some fine dining. He's wearing a suit, and he's eating schlop rice with his hands.
Disgusting.
Very disgusting, very disrespectful. And it's weird, too, because the same guy eats a burrito with a fork and knife.
So it's almost like he's just a corny fake person.
No consistency.
There's no consistency because a burrito is a handheld item, if you guys hadn't known. And rice is obviously some sort of fork-held thing.
And then also you eat on the subway. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and the eating with a suit, I could understand someone eating with their hands and they're one of those ethnic garbs, just a long flowing poncho type thing.
You're on the floor.
Doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, eat with your hands. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But with the suit, I see old school Wall Street guys flip the tie when they're eating with a fork and knife. He's going like this.
We've lost New York.
But then also in terms of the foreign born and whatever, like people, New York has ebbed and flowed, right? And it had like this big law and order period under Rudy Giuliani where he kind of did some stop and frisk and cleaned up the city. And then after the 80s, there was a huge bad period in Manhattan in general where the tax base all fled and like business wasn't good. When you have this foreign born workers electing or foreign born New Yorkers electing a guy like this, you stop having that kind of like reaction response. You have that when New York City is like mostly white and has the random black population, but there's no like response. You're just going to go farther into third worldism.
You can't really come back.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to take it over. That's a good point. And
then he'll do, we've said about the raising taxes for the free buses or whatever. They're going to find new ways to tax you, much like Mayor Brandon Johnson does in Chicago. And you can financially ruin the city too.
Yeah. And that's the next point here. At the debate last week, he said his plan was to raise an extra $9 billion in taxes for the free bus. And someone made a really good point. I wanted to read that.
Yeah, taxes are just part of living in a society. They pay for things we need, like a huge police force that arrests and releases the same 500 criminals every 6 months. But they also pay for things we want, like making sure those criminals can ride the bus with you and your wife and children.
Yeah. I like that.
I know.
And basically, I think New York could become a no-go zone because everyone's going to flee. And then Mamdani said he wants to decriminalize misdemeanors.
Yeah.
So not sure what the point of something like that would be. I guess because all the criminals are mostly brown.
Yeah.
So that's literally the reason, right?
Yeah.
Like the criminals are mostly brown, so decriminalize the criminality.
Disparate impact stuff again and again.
Like, isn't that just like retarded?
And I saw an old article where he was talking about he wanted to eliminate police responding to domestic violence calls. Great.
Those are like the most violent things to respond to.
And
like,
the most likely to lead to a murder like in 2 weeks from now. So it's crazy.
We're going to send in some girl social worker with a clipboard.
Yeah.
We also found this old clip of him on a podcast talking about like flirting with the idea of abolishing private property.
My platform is that every single person should have housing. And I think faced with these two options, the system has hundreds of thousands of people unhoused. right? For what? And if there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee, it is preferable to what is going on right now.
What was that?
Yeah. Abolish private property.
It's like you just spent years to own like a $5 million brownstone. And it's just, we're going to take that and give it to hordes of brown people who just got here and actually built nothing of the city.
I saw this lady eating with her hands. She lives in your basement now. Congratulations. Abolish. You can't. It's also funny because that's the language that kind of virtue signals to the left, but then it's also like gives everybody else, has them put their radar up. He can't even do it in a nuanced, subtle way, which is really dark,
But then if the numbers are there, all the normal business people are just going to leave the city, and then it's going to become World War Z.
And then that's the type of shit he believes. He has really piped down and gone down on his extremism for the actual mayoral race, now that it's kind of one-on-one with Curtis Sliwa also involved. But he's kind of toned it down, but this is the shit he wants to do. It's still there. It's still underneath.
That's who he really is. And
then back to the police and the ebb and flow of New York. This guy's going to fire the commissioner of the NYPD, and he's going to appoint someone who's an absolute retard with his same agenda,
That's going to, and it's already bad now.
Gotham City.
It's going to be really, really, really bad. And you guys might think, abolish private property. That's like a communist pipe dream. Never really happens. We have an example here from Canada of it basically happening.
Yeah, this is from the city of Richmond. This was going around online this past weekend. Notice to registered owner. Please take note that the recent BC Supreme Court decision of Cowichan Tribes versus Canada 2025 made some very important decisions which could negatively affect the title to your property. A briefing paper prepared by the City of Richmond staff is attached for your reference. If you look at the draft map attached to the briefing, your property is located within the claim area outlined in green. For those whose property is in the area outlined in black, the court has declared aboriginal title to your property, which may compromise the status and validity of your ownership.
So basically, they're giving the land back to the Native Americans.
Your land, your house.
That you bought and paid a mortgage for, probably still paying a mortgage for. Now it's theirs because that's where they used to hang out.
Yeah, even though the Canadian military has all the power and all the resources, they're still just kind of like letting some court cases go. And it's your house. And this is where all land acknowledgements trend to.
Yeah.
They trend to, I'm just a lady police officer and I'm going to mention the Ojibwe. And then it turns out your title might be affected.
You heard us mention the Ojibwe.
Yeah. You should have seen this coming, right?
It's their land. And we acknowledged it. And what do you do with someone's land? You give it back to them. That's phase one. Yeah. And then there's like a multi-pronged plan.
Yeah. So some of this, the old boomer kind of like, these are bringing communism. Like there are little steps that are actively happening towards these goals. And I don't think it's getting better. I don't think the left is getting more reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I found this post on 4chan that I thought was very insightful. It's a little bit of reading, but Rapway can handle it.
Yeah, it's a screenshot from Reddit originally, and some leftist type is saying, "Amen. As a Democrat, I worry about us allowing our cities to become wastelands of homeless drug addicts. I am excited to move out to the suburbs because at least life will be pleasant out there, even if I have to live amongst the Republicans. I want to be able to go for a walk without fear of attack. Do Democrats only care about the rights of antisocial drug-addicted transients? I will never vote Republican, but I hate how us Dems don't have the courage to let the ends justify the means."
So you post that, you're basically saying all the problems with your party, and then I'll never vote Republican. Can you read the rebuttal?
Yeah, I recognize that my party doesn't have my best interests in mind. In fact, I can see that my party favors literal criminals over law-abiding citizens. I have to literally pack my shit up and move because my party ruined my home. I won't ever change the way I vote, though. Democracy was a mistake.
That's what we're dealing with.
You can't help someone like that. I don't have the mental model for someone like that. Like inputs, outputs, and then the inputs are leading to bad outputs. It's like, whoa, we should change. We should stop those. I don't know what it is where I guess they're just so scared of Republicans in general or the negative like social stigma that comes with being even vaguely right-wing that they just can't justify it. They'll live in the shittiest conditions possible.
There is a theory that like half the people don't have an inner monologue and like half of the people in the world are NPCs.
Yeah, it's not a theory. That's true.
So it's like if the Democrats are just the parties of like NPCs and foreign brown people, you can kind of win elections with that model.
But I think someone like that who has the means to move to the suburbs, I think they have an internal monologue. And there's just a louder one about how it's mean to be right wing. Like they've been so indoctrinated and ingrained on it that overrides the common sense that they're seeing. Like,
but there's something about an NPC where it's like, oh, Republicans, Hitler, Nazi, fascist, lock you up, hates migrants, and it's like, yeah. Like it overrides their brain, and like it goes, and like it helps program their brain to be against Republicans for life.
yeah, that's what
There's
I'm saying.
something
but
where maybe it is an NPC.
they're smart in other areas, and they can be smart with like doing their taxes or balancing the books or doing something. But then when it comes to this one arena, they go retarded.
They do go retarded. All right, let's get to our next race coming up, the Virginia governor's race and the AG race. It's looking pretty close for governor. It's Spangberger versus Sears, and the Democrat is Spangberger, and she's 51%, and Sears is 41%. And then for attorney general, remember Jay Jones is running against the Republican?
Wants to kill the little GOP kids.
Yeah,
little
he's only
fascists.
1 point behind.
Yeah.
But
So there's an interesting spread there. The governor race is well ahead by 10 points for the Democrats, but attorney general's neck and neck, 1 point.
it is very interesting. But remember the polls are kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
We remember Kamala versus Trump. Remember everyone had Kamala winning. So let's see what actually happens.
I mean, obviously, if you're watching the show, you're going to go vote for the Republican with some serious. I just didn't think she was a great candidate. I'm not thrilled. I'm not energized.
Not thrilled.
That old school GOP, I can't get energized. And she is kind of Trumpy, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't care.
But here's what Spangberger is talking about the Democrat nominee. The same thing we just mentioned, just appealing to hordes of brown people.
I certainly want to protect every person who might be interested in arriving at the United States, claiming asylum, working here, coming as a refugee, whatever the parameters or the need that begins their desire to move to our country.
So,
Every person who might be interested in coming to the U.S.
like you're running for governor of Virginia.
Yeah,
One of the first states, too.
I know.
We're going to have a little history.
Colony here, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it called? Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little history lesson about the founding fathers and what they thought about migrants in our migrant section.
Okay.
And then she's running against Winsome Sears, that black woman. Mm-hmm. And then listen to her get heckled at a recent football game.
Yeah, James Madison. Go back to Haiti. And he realizes he's being filmed. He's filming me.
So
No, wait. Look at him. Look at his knee go. He gets nervous.
he gets nervous, but he yells traitor and go back to Haiti, and she's not even from Haiti.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's too easy to make the point, like, oh, if that was a Democrat getting yelled at by a Republican, it would be all over the headlines, which is true.
Yeah.
But it also makes you kind of say, fuck them. They're going to call us these names. They're going to call us racist no matter what. They do, according to their standards, what racism is, and they don't get in trouble. So fuck it. Let's just do whatever we want. Let them call us any name we want, and we don't even stop.
Yeah, fortunately, that's what I have been doing. And I just wish more people were doing that too.
Yeah.
Immune to those cries of racism. Unfortunately, too many in the old school GOP are like, I really don't want to be called a bad name. I can't stand that.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But that right there is like exactly what they're like always looking for, an example of someone yelling something racist. But it's like, oh, it's against Republicans. Okay.
Yep.
Let's get to our next story. There's a Supreme Court decision that's about to be made.
Yeah, kind of. It's in the works, and they just heard oral arguments last week. The crux of the argument is relating to redistricting congressional seats. So we kind of covered it a lot with the gerrymandering back in the old gerrymander battles between Texas and California. And it's a different kind of race-based gerrymandering. And the crux of the argument, it's a really complex argument, but the crux of it is between the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and then the 14th and 15th Amendment. The case that's being appealed to the Supreme Court is like The state of Louisiana said, we need one more basically black congressional seat. We need to redistrict something so that black people can have power. And they did that. And then that's the case. And so basically, if you didn't know, in the South, based on this 1965 Voting Rights Act, there's been a lot of like redistricting just so that a black community at large can elect a leader that they like.
Which is basically admitting that the black people only vote one way.
Yeah, and it's just a little weird. It's a weird vibe, and it's 1965, the peak of the Civil Rights Act and stuff like that. But it's still, we're carving up pieces of America just so black people can all vote together, and we know which way they vote.
Very weird.
They vote 90-10 Democrat. So
yeah,
it's interesting. And Ketanji Brown Jackson had some kind of retarded argument for it, where she compared black voters to disabled people. And we didn't cover it last week, but that was the extent of it.
she's not scared to yap.
Yeah, she's not.
If I was her, I'd be like, oh, I'm the stupidest one here. I'm going to kind of be quiet and agree and just do whatever everyone else is doing.
No.
She's the number one talker, and she's like, sometimes she's the only one who opposes the ruling, so it's like 8-1.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, I don't want Trump to do that.
And people torch her in legalese, and they're like, this person is basically retarded. But so we just wanted to stay on top of it, I guess, as a show to talk about it. And basically, Newswire had this tweet that said, Democrats in South face wipeout if Supreme Court guts Voting Rights Act. And it's all these states: North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Basically, the plausible scenario is that a lot of those could get wiped out because they were redistricted based on race, literally to give black people more electoral power. And Stephen Miller said, how many people just realized that Dems had as many as 20 extra seats based on years of unconstitutional race-based gerrymandering?
It's very true.
So this is a very important Supreme Court case, and we'll see. I don't expect the results until maybe early 2026. I think it takes a long time to decide, but this could have an impact on the 2026 midterms. And 20 seats in the House, that's a huge swing, guys.
That's a very big swing.
And then these people, just something with gerrymandering in general, like a big argument, which I get, is like black people are 33% or 30-ish% of Louisiana. And I get it that they want some representation. It's just a matter of if it's legal, if it's unconstitutional, because it has been happening. But then, you know, a state like Maine has 35% Republicans and 0 Republican congressional seats. So race, which in this case is almost always a proxy for right or left, Democrat or Republican, it's kind of the same thing in other states. Like most of New England has horrible representation for right-wingers, even though Republicans make up 30, 40, sometimes 45% of that state's voting bloc.
We actually have some stats from the worst gerrymandered states out there. Can you give that a read, that final asset?
Massachusetts, 36% Republican, 0 seats. Connecticut, 42% Republican, 0 seats. Maine, 46, 0 seats. New Mexico, 46, 0 seats. New Hampshire, 48, 0 seats. This is stuff we've covered before.
Which is insane.
In the other gerrymandering.
It's like you're just missing half by like 2%, and then you get 0 seats. And then they're like saying, oh, Republicans are gerrymandering. Remember who gerrymandered first.
Well, yeah, and then that's the thing, too, is we have such a complex and kind of fucked up congressional system in America that I don't care about right or wrong these days. I just care about winning. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like, right or wrong, the horse has left the barn already. It's over on right or wrong. We have different pockets of different states who have different levels of control, and I just want to flip 20 seats like that. Because if it was unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional.
And Memetic says, this made a nice point, too. He was talking about how the black vote is a monolithic vote anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter like where they are. They're all going to vote Democrat. So what does it even matter?
Yeah, the black voting bloc. Well, he was replying to someone who said, this guy said, the core problem for black voters in the South is that even though the black population of many Southern states is large, white Southerners vote as a near monolithic bloc, which means GOP candidates need essentially no black votes to win. So it's like he's accusing white people of voting as a monolithic bloc when all nationwide stats of black voters, it's like 86% for Kamala, you know?
Yeah.
It's a 90-10 basically.
And then he's saying white people vote as a block, but look at the stats.
Yeah.
It's like not even 50-50. It completely varies.
Yeah.
So that's not true. You're just looking at white people and going, oh, you're all the same. You must vote all the same. That's actually probably the one group that's not accurate for.
Yeah, so it's very weird, but we'll see with the Supreme Court ruling. I think they kind of, a lot of these states went too far, thinking they were doing the right thing with the Voting Rights Act, and they just didn't realize it was kind of unconstitutional, and they were playing by rules they didn't know they didn't have to. And so that Louisiana example, that was like a live example from 2024, that Louisiana lost a seat because they had to redistrict based on race. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our migrant section.
Okay.
Our first stat is what we mentioned in the intro. 3% of Venezuela's population migrated here just in the last few years.
Yeah. Nearly 3% of the entire population of Venezuela was brought into America by the Biden admin. And this is other South American countries or Central American that kind of show how much of their population had an encounter at the border. Nicaragua is 6.5%.
That's like everybody.
Cuba, 6%. Honduras, almost 6%. And it goes on and on. Venezuela was singled out because it's the largest country on this
It's
list.
absolutely insane. And they're all excited to vote Democrat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And do we have to revise our numbers up?
Yeah.
People are saying 100 million now. We used to say 50 million, and it was a little exaggeratory.
Yeah. Exaggeratory.
A little exaggeratory.
Yeah.
But it was like maybe true, and if you really counted everyone, it'd probably be like 48 million, and we end up being right. Is the number between 50 and 100 now?
I think so.
1 in 3 people is some rat?
Yeah, I think.
That's crazy. We have another story. We've covered this in the past a little bit, but we just found out more details about it. This is from Charleroi, Pennsylvania.
Which is one of the key cities during the Trump admin Haitians eating cats and dogs thing.
Yep.
And we showed a video, if you guys remember, of them in the classroom, and they all need a translator, and it basically made the rest of the class so slow and retarded.
Very true.
Yeah.
Can you read the headline?
Brink of humanitarian disaster, 800 migrant families set to be stranded in Pennsylvania town amid factory closure.
So basically, 2,000 Haitians were sent into a town of 4,000 so they can work in a factory, but the factory closed. So
It was
now
a meatpacking plant.
It's a meatpacking plant. So now there's 2,000 unemployed Haitians in a town of 4,000, but it's a melting pot. So soon you won't even notice them.
Yeah, soon they'll just blend in, and they'll be mouth breathing on the street, and you'll go, "Who's that? Is that a Pennsylvania Dutch guy, or is that a fucking Haitian?"
That looks like an Amish guy.
Yeah, could be anything. He stole a horse. Hey, that one stole a horse. And so this was, just an update on the city. And I'm not going to read much from the article itself, but basically this company, the meatpacking plant, had like $80 million in loans, and they defaulted on it. 4th Street Barbecue is what it was called. And so like you could tell importing cheap Haitian labor they could probably exploit was part of their debt servicing plan, So it was just a shitty company who was trying to hang on and was trying to do it the wrong way by importing foreign-born labor. And now, like, who is this going to fall on? Nonprofits, churches, the taxpayer, because they're going to get some sort of benefit.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned, it's going to affect the school system as well. We already showed the videos probably like a year ago of all the kids that need translators and they don't do anything. And then the other kids can't learn because half the kids don't speak English.
You can't verify their age. So there's probably like a 19-year-old Haitian kid in the sophomore high school class.
Yep. And we actually found some stats about these migrant students and what it's like in the school.
Yeah, this was a study that said, why do the results of immigrant students depend so much on their country of origin and so little on their country of destination? And basically, this study showed that the quality of the school has no influence on the intelligence of children from immigrant backgrounds. Their cognitive abilities, quote, remain at the level of their country of origin, not only in the first generation, but also in the second and even later.
And what happens when you load us up with third worlders? Then everyone's IQ goes down. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into a little bit of a history lesson here. We were never meant to bring in these third worlders. The founding fathers did not have it set up that way. The Naturalization Act of 1790 is very clear about who should come here. Can you read that, please?
Yeah, the Naturalization Act of 1790 was the first U.S. law to establish rules for granting citizenship to immigrants. It allowed free white persons of good moral character who had resided in the U.S. for at least 2 years to apply for citizenship. The act required applicants to swear an oath of allegiance to the U.S. Constitution. It excluded non-white individuals, including enslaved people, indentured servants, and most Native Americans from becoming citizens. This law set a precedent for U.S. citizenship policies, but was later amended to expand eligibility.
Obviously.
Free white person, good moral character.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we have some quotes. We're not going to read them all, but maybe read like a couple of what the founding fathers thought about foreigners.
Hamilton said, the influx of foreigners must therefore tend to produce a heterogeneous compound to change and corrupt the national spirit, to complicate and confound public opinion, to introduce foreign propensities. Nature, this is from Jefferson, nature, habit, opinion has drawn indelible lines of distinction between the races. So he was just pointing out, we're different. Have you ever seen a Somali? Jefferson, he may have never seen a Somali.
Yeah.
He might have gone harder on that quote.
He didn't even know what we were going to be dealing with.
Benjamin Franklin, the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. I could wish their numbers increased, but perhaps I am partial to the completion of my country, for such long of partiality is natural to mankind. Ben Franklin was famous for calling people swarthy. Mm-hmm. He didn't even count all white people as white.
I probably wouldn't be white to him.
To Ben Franklin? Absolutely not. Yeah, swarthy. I don't think I would even. I'd be barely.
Yeah.
He'd take a long, hard look at me.
He'd look at me and go, swarthy, and I'd go, sorry.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
What do you want me to do?
Love your work on the light bulb and shit.
Want me to clean up? So that's like what the founding fathers had in mind.
Yeah.
And everyone just tries to play these games and pretend, oh, we're a melting pot for everybody. That's why we have to load us up with third worlders and kind of ruin it. And I found some stats about Somalis, and I don't want to say how they're useless, but they don't really work and they get a lot of free stuff.
Well, I think that's fair to say they're useless because this is a study of them as a group. You know, I would never be rude or mean to an individual Somali who I just met. That's obviously a tenet of being alive and being a person.
Yeah,
but when
you're a child of God.
When you're studying vast groups of people, you can make an assumption about vast groups of people entering your country. Right?
Very true.
And this is from the UK, and it says the Somali community has one of the lowest employment rates in the country, with just 1 in 10 in full-time work. A study has found unemployment, including part-time work, among Somalis has remained high, in excess of 70%. So 1 in 10 Somalis in the UK has a full-time job. ONS data show high rates of economic inactivity and unemployment among the Somali community, particularly Somali females, 84%.
So not good.
Yeah.
Not the kind of people you want to bring in because they're not really going to add to anything. And it wasn't really who we thought of when we were bringing in people when the country was first made.
For sure.
And we're also right
and
now.
I don't know when we made the switch from charity to just being a charity country.
I think it was the seller.
Hard seller?
Hard seller.
That was part of it, for sure. But, man, it's really time to take a good hard look at what economic net impact, how they do in schools, and all this stuff. It's multi-generational. Like, when you let something in or you change something drastically, it's going to change for more people when they multiply and have kids, and for longer, like the entire rest of the history of the U.S.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
And now some people are being denied visas who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And then John Turley says that this is like a free speech issue, even though it's not.
He said, if the accounts of visa denials for those who criticize Charlie Kirk are accurate, it is a chilling denial of free speech values. Entry into our country should not be based on any political litmus test or denied over opposing views of influential figures, blah, blah, blah.
And we had some good replies to that. Jack Posobiec had a good reply.
Yeah, he said, no foreigner has a right to travel to America for any purpose. The Constitution is explicitly clear on this. The Bill of Rights is not a global compact, Jonathan. It is for American citizens. Yeah, that's free speech. That's part of the Bill of Rights, and that doesn't apply to some random guy in India or some Somali.
Very true. And then can you say what Stephen Miller said?
Yeah, he said, imagine arguing that the Founding Fathers wanted us to mass import foreigners who hate us, hate our civilization, and celebrate the murder of our heroes. Imagine arguing that the Constitution requires us to limitlessly admit those who want to burn our system to ash. Imagine arguing that the prior generations who shed their blood to secure America for their posterity actually shed their blood for the right of foreign nationals to come here and revile their own descendants. Imagine.
That's what I like, Stephen Miller. Very true.
Yeah. And then in general, too, like, if you don't like Charlie Kirk or you don't support him and you're a foreigner, whatever, you can have that opinion technically. We don't have to let you in at all. But it kind of speaks to another IQ test where if you're a foreigner angling for citizenship or entry into the United States and you don't know when to keep your fucking mouth shut on a hot button issue, then that's kind of a test on its own that you're an idiot and you shouldn't fucking be here, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what? I'm begging to get in on a visa for a certain thing, but fuck Charlie Kirk, the most divisive thing you've seen.
Al-Qaeda, not so bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like,
like to say that is so stupid. Like if you're applying for the job of the Starbucks CEO and you're like, you know what? I'm thinking tea, guys. They're not going to fucking hire you, right? Like you kind of lead and you don't hide this like subversive thought that you have. Don't be surprised when someone says, fuck that.
You're not smart enough to hide this subversive thought.
Exactly.
Very true.
Which is like another hurdle. So I'm glad, even if you said something even more right wing, but you were kind of like arrogant or an asshole, I'd be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
right?
Very true. All right, we have a picture from a few days ago, ICE. Chicago ICE, the guy is pointing a gun at this guy, and then Scott Wiener, that alleged pervert guy from California.
Is it alleged?
He wears the
leather
He wears
shit.
the leather daddy shit. He had this to say.
He said, in the future, people are going to look back at this photo of an American citizen and ask what the actual fuck happened in this country.
And that could be true if the Democrats take back power and rewrite history.
Yeah.
So that's actually not that crazy. But what really happened was this guy got pulled over at a traffic stop. He rammed his car into the police vehicle. Then they went on a high-speed chase. The cops disabled his vehicle, pulled him out, and then the cops got attacked by all these onlookers.
Yeah.
But this is fucking crazy. What happened to our country?
What the actual fuck happened? It's like, we could tell you, Scott Wiener. Like, you got to ask, but they like a photo. They like a photo, a little propaganda piece. They don't like a story. Mm-hmm. They like a photo.
They like a photo, and that's enough for them. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They're looking for their migrant George Floyd.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and get it. Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to our abroad migrant section. This is very brief, but we have a story out of the UK that is pretty bad.
And an Ethiopian illegal migrant, a paedophile, has received less time in prison than 3 men who were arrested for violently protesting because of the actions of that same illegal migrant. Those 3 local men from the Epping area were arrested and now have been sentenced for violent disorder during a protest at Epping Hotel over the sick and vile actions of the Ethiopian illegal migrant Hadush Kibatu, who, of course, was found guilty of touching and trying to kiss a schoolgirl in Epping and a further attempted sexual assault of an older woman.
So the protesters get more time than the actual pedo.
Yeah. And look at the pictures. Look at these protesters. Those are good guys.
And then the other guy, the Ethiopian, they let him out.
He doesn't even look at the camera. He's got a borderline retarded IQ. And these guys are trying to save their country.
Sad.
And they go to jail.
Yeah.
The UK, man.
You got to assume it's going to get worse. And I found this picture of what the UK looks like. And someone says it looks like gay Nazi Germany with all the pride flags and all the trans flags. But it's obviously ironic because the Nazis would have done the opposite of this. But the gays are really outperforming, which tells you something. Like what, gay people are 5% of the population, and they're represented like that.
Yeah.
It's like they're up to something. And it's the bad guys that are latching onto the cause and using it, marginalized, oppressed versus oppressors, and they're just lead blocking with them as the oppressed.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I get it.
All right, well, that's the end of our migrant section. Now moving on to the final page of housekeeping. Use the opportunity to go to the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, and start yapping. P.O. Box, notifications, group chat. You guys know what to do. And I have a little special call to action today. And not everyone's going to like it. But it's episode 300. And a lot of people are saying, wow, 300 episodes. How can we say thank you? Well, there is a way. There is a thanks comment button, which allows you to send money. So if you really want to thank us for 300 episodes, years of showing up and calling it right, never letting you down, 2 episodes a week for as long as we can remember, leave a little tip Little thanks button. Leave a little couple bucks. No big deal. And RRB doesn't like the begging.
Are you turning the iPad? Are you flipping the iPad?
I'm flipping. Hey,
That's
300
crazy.
episodes. 300 episodes. We're flipping the iPad and we're asking for a tip, and we'll split it 50-50.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like doing it, so maybe give a tip just to make him mad, just to spite Richard Ratboy.
Don't.
And if all 100,000 of you give $10 each, that's $1 million N-word dollars.
Wow.
And that would be lit.
That's not going to happen, dude. I think he thinks that could happen. He goes, 1% chance.
And I'm like, gonna check every day, like, how much should we get?
No.
Hey, but if you guys want to give us a thing, we're flipping the iPad, you want to give us a little tip, the thanks button is there. We would appreciate it. We've shown up, 300 episodes. We don't really ask for much. And we'll split it 50-50. We'll keep it 100.
All right.
Let's get to our final page. First things first, California squirrels eat lizards. You know about this?
I saw it. Obviously, squirrels eat nuts for the most part. But he's eating the head, too. They're sick. Animals eat the heads. They eat the eyeballs and brains and stuff.
And it makes you wonder, if a squirrel was the size of a dog or like a lion, would it try to eat people?
I don't know.
Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder, makes you think.
And it also kind of reminds me of the time I saw deer eat snake.
You eating a snake?
That's crazy.
Sometimes the animals forget what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that is weird.
Let's get to our next
I
story.
don't know what the point is, what the broader point. Maybe animals are evolving a little bit
Yeah.
in this dog-eat-dog world.
I think squirrels have always kind of done that, and you just rarely catch them on camera because there's only been cameras for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
So there's something there where they've been doing it forever. And also, squirrels apparently taste really good.
That's what I've heard from
And
Southerners.
they're eating all
people in the
kinds
South.
of, they have a diverse diet.
Yeah.
They're eating berries, they're eating nuts, they're eating a lizard. It's something to think about.
People eat pigs, and pigs eat disgusting shit. What are squirrels? They're eating acorns all day.
Yummy.
Probably a nice yummy shit.
Yummy, yummy. You make
Yeah.
a stew.
Okay.
You make a stew
Okay, I'm
with some
with ya.
gravy. All right. Let's get to our next story. They body swap Brad Cooper.
Yeah. I don't know. Or Bradley Cooper got a facelift of some kind.
Here's the thing. You might be saying, oh, he's just getting older.
Yeah, he is.
The pictures where he looks weird are from a year ago.
Really?
So, unfortunately, they body swapped him, and the real Brad Cooper was most likely executed at Gitmo, allegedly.
All right. That makes sense. Good allegedly.
But there's Brad Cooper.
There's Bradley Cooper, yeah.
And then who's this other guy with the green background? Who's this guy?
I don't know.
Who is that? His brother? Is that his brother Scott?
That's Bert Cooper.
Scott Cooper?
I don't know. I feel bad, man. I feel bad for people who are in the spotlight like that. And they're you're a handsome movie star. And then you go, maybe I just do a little. I am getting old. You look at
A little
mirror,
tox.
maybe I do a little.
And
And then it goes bad. And
Oh,
everyone
shit.
they make fun of you either way. If you age appropriately, they'll say, fuck this guy. And if you get the surgery, they say, fuck this guy. So that's why you just got to age naturally, I guess.
you gotta just age naturally. And that could happen to us. We're in 4K now.
Yeah, that could happen to us.
Whatever happens is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run it.
Big zit. Disgusting.
You can't body swap me.
If someone was 290-ish pounds.
And that's why we used to do doppels so much. So if a body swap ever happened, you'd go, that's a doppel.
Okay.
Remember?
That's why.
That's why we
I
do
think
doppels.
you apply reasons after the fact. But
Yeah.
No big deal.
But still sound.
Okay.
All right, next, there was an AI announcement. People were making inappropriate videos of Martin Luther King, and they had some new rules in the AI.
Yeah, a statement from OpenAI and King Estate, Inc., the estate of Martin Luther King Jr., Inc., and OpenAI have worked together to address how Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s likeness is represented in Sora generations. Some users generated disrespectful depictions of Dr. King's image. So at their request, OpenAI has paused generations depicting Dr. King as it strengthens guardrails for historical figures.
And we have a couple examples of the tasteless videos that were made of Dr. Martin Luther King. Here's one of him stealing groceries.
Sir, you still need to pay for those.
I have a dream that one day these will be free of charge. Today is that day.
Wait,
Okay.
Sick.
Not even that good.
These
Not
people-
even that good.
Messed up.
Okay.
That's a historical figure.
Yeah.
And there's another one here where they put him next to a person with Down syndrome. I think this is AI.
We are gathered here today because the idea of freedom cannot be chained by the hands of time. Peanut butter! Got it. All right, son. Thank you. Let's give him a hand. Now, as I was...
What is wrong with these people?
They had to stop it.
Who would ever make something like that?
I know.
Speaking of AI, Trump, over the weekend during the No Kings protest, released this AI video. It's a fighter jet that says King Trump, and he drops shit on Harry Sisson. So here's the fighter jet taking off. There's Trump with the king crown flying it.
Imagine Highway to the Danger Zone playing.
Highway to the Danger Zone, and he's dropping poop on all the protesters, and it lands on Harry Sisson.
Some got in his mouth.
And some got in his mouth. It's disgusting. It lands everywhere. And then
he likes AI.
Yeah.
He likes seeing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Trump likes boomer memes. I don't know.
And that's fun. You know, there's a lot of migrants here. They're on bikes.
Yeah.
And they have backpacks, and they're wearing, pants and jackets in the summer. But we still have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
And then Harry Sisson said, "Can a reporter please ask Trump why he posted an AI video of himself dropping poop on me from a fighter jet? That'd be great. Thanks." And then JD Vance said, "I'll ask him for you, Harry." That's fun.
I guess.
It's fun.
It's lowbrow.
Yeah.
It's lowbrow shit.
Yeah. Well,
if I was Harry Sisson, I'd be like, I'm honored.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's hilarious.
Trump thinks you're his political opponent.
Yeah. Trump acknowledged you. Yeah. All right, that's the end of the final page. A little update. I mentioned last episode high school football, Americana, stuff like that. And then someone DM'd me on Twitter and said, "Hey, come check out St. Pete Catholic. They're 7-0, and I went to the game.
Oh.
And they did well. They beat the other team. I stayed for like the first half and a little bit more. It was fun to see Americana, Friday Night Lights, America Still America. It was a nice group of people, Catholic high school. Hey, high school kids are having fun.
Yeah? What are they doing?
They're vaping.
Oh, they're vaping in the stands?
They're vaping. High school kids are vaping, and they're having fun.
All right, good to know.
Good to see.
Yeah.
And then, before we move on to Cringe.
Good to see they're vaping.
Well, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah. But it's good to see.
Red-blooded American stuff.
Yeah, they're vaping.
They got an appetite for something. And maybe they're getting cheap Chinese vapes, which is not good.
Not good.
But they like it.
And they should not be vaping.
Okay.
But they are. They go to the bathroom. And it gets to the point where they have to take the doors off the bathroom because kids go to the bathroom to vape.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Someone said that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
They're getting in trouble.
It's funny. When did we mention that? Was that the main episode or bonus land? But I said, what, St. Pete Catholic? And then they just happen to be 7-0.
7-0, putting 50 points a game up.
Yeah, it's interesting.
There's a couple good players.
Good for them.
52 I liked.
Oh, yeah?
He was a lineman. He played with the motor. He's a little undersized. I'm not sure what year he is. He
So you can relate?
Well, but he was like skinny.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He wasn't that tall and he wasn't that big.
So you can't relate anymore.
Can't relate. Because I've been over like 250 pounds since I was in 8th grade. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
And then bonus land. We have a great bonus land dropping tomorrow. We're going to talk about how Rosa Parks was a lie.
Oh.
Not what you think.
It was a setup.
It was a setup, and it was like a communist Marxist thing. Yeah. Rosa Parks was a lie. Find out more in bonus land tomorrow at 11 a.m. All right, we're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first story for Cringe of the Week, monkeypox is back.
Yeah, Los Angeles, California. Health officials have confirmed a second local case of clade 1 mpox, that's monkeypox, the more severe strain of the virus in an LA County resident with no recent travel history to regions where monkeypox is common, according to ABC7.
And you can tell he's a gay guy because he has an earring in his right ear and the monkeypox.
Yeah,
and the monkeypox.
That and the monkeypox, yeah.
So,
which one's more? Which one's more important?
I think the monkeypox really tells a story, especially the picture. You know, you can kind of, I don't want to, viewer discretion is advised, but you can tell he was really going crazy and he was and tongue some guy's.
Yeah.
Really disgusting shit, unfortunately.
He went crazy. And he
didn't even have to travel to Africa. That's how crazy he went.
That's kind of the big red flag. And so clade 1 monkeypox is way more serious. It's way more severe and has worse outbreaks and bigger holes and stuff. So these gay guys are going to really have to explain away something at work.
What do you even say at work?
I need 2 weeks off. Boss, all 4 of my grandparents went down this week.
My wife died in a wreck.
Yeah, my wife. Boss will go, your wife? Yeah, right. Yeah, right, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there is a real humiliation about it when it shows you had really gay sex all over.
With a guy with monkeypox.
With a guy with monkeypox, and you didn't even care. You didn't even ask questions.
And do you think the guy with monkeypox, like, oh, he had makeup on, I couldn't see?
No.
You see what it looks
You
like.
see what it is. And then here's another piece that I thought was interesting because we went from like monkeypox is an outbreak, remember back in the day, to basically us figure out that monkeypox was only a gay disease, basically, pretty much, or sub-Saharan disease. It's gay or sub-Saharan, and the gay guy in LA who didn't travel anywhere, you know what kind of disease it was. But this part of the article said, or the press release said, for uninsured and underinsured individuals, Jynneos, some acronym, vaccine is a covered service for eligible persons enrolled in the PrEP assistance program or AIDS drug assistance program.
For men who have sex with men.
Yeah. So if you're already getting AIDS medicine as a gay guy, then you're also eligible for the second monkeypox vaccine.
You get the free vax.
So that's where we're at now. We just wanted to report on it because it's kind of a throwback, but really dark.
Very dark.
Tell your gay friends in LA, keep their head on a swivel.
Yeah.
If you have any.
Tell them to slow down.
Tell them one guy only at a time. No more of those parties.
No more of those parties in the pitch black room.
Yeah.
All right.
It's interesting because most STDs, your pee burns. Something's bad. I got to take antibiotics for a while. Oh, thank God nobody knows about this. The lesions on your face disease, new scarlet letter. Pretty bad.
I feel like God is like trying to tell you to stop.
Yeah. He's yelling loudly.
Look,
but it's a soundproof room and he can't get to you because you're gay and
I can keep hooking up.
Yeah, I can keep doing this.
He's like, no. Yeah. All right, next. This is a really weird thing I saw on Instagram. This guy sells distressed sweatshirts for a lot of money.
Most people would consider this unwearable. I have it priced at $2,500. This is a 1940s hoodless afterhood. It's a double V sweatshirt with an applied bottom pocket. It was found in a house. It has pretty exceptional distressing throughout, rust-stained patina. It is 2-ply or double face, which means that all that tasty distressing reveals a whole other layer of sweatshirt underneath, which is super rad and keeps things really wearable even though they have like tons of holes. I've been wearing this thing before the show because I really like it, hoping nobody buys it so that I can keep it.
If someone comes to you and says, hey, I really want to buy this, what price would it be to get it out of your hands?
I have it priced at $2,500. Everything's so relative with pricing.
Exactly.
If you look at like the consumer market and what people are paying for afterhoods in Japan, it's a very like low relative price.
Yeah, that's cheap.
$2,500 for the shitted out hoodie?
$2,500 for the hoodie you found in a house and you put in a blender.
That's good margin. You find it,
it's
and then you sell it for $2,500.
It's a great business.
Yeah.
And then people go...
It is from 1940, though. And if some Japanese guy likes this stuff, I'm not hating.
But you literally look like a homeless person.
Yeah, you have to wear this with like Balenciaga pants or some sort of designer boots or something. Because you start wearing all the distressed items together, somebody's going to put $5 in your cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Right?
Is this just money laundering?
I don't think so. It's hipster. It's hipster value. It's different.
I
This
don't
is like
understand.
Pokemon cards. It's the same thing. Humans, a select few group of humans,
but it's
find
dirty.
it valuable. But it's rare. It's dirty,
No,
but
it's
it's rare.
not.
It's from 1940. How many sweatshirts survived from 1940?
None.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So $2,500.
It didn't survive either.
I'm not defending it, but if the guy can fucking sell it for $2,500, I'd sell it for $2,500.
People go into college debt.
Yeah.
And then that guy has the job where he makes a lot of money from nothing.
So what?
I actually respect it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm coming around, but I would respect it more if he goes, yeah, people are retarded. They'll buy this for $2,500. These guys in Japan, they go crazy for this. I'm making $3,000 a sweatshirt, and I go to this burned down house around the corner, and I just pull all the old clothes out. People in Japan buy it.
Okay, that's fair.
If he was more like,
but he wears it. He likes it too.
If he was like, I'm ripping these people off. This is retarded. This is free money. I don't even understand.
I'm sure somebody is like that.
That's I would respect that a little more. Okay. All right, we have a whole.
He's a salesman. He has to pretend.
He's got to pretend.
Yeah.
And then if you're interviewing him, it's like, oh yeah, it's distressed.
Yeah.
Like, just give me like a wink. Like you're in on it,
It's
right?
distressed. Yeah, you're in on it, right?
You're in on it, right?
I might be able to set you up with a buyer.
You're doing a bit. You know this is retarded.
Yeah.
All right, no king section. We have a lot of no king stuff to get to. First things first, we have the financiers.
Yeah. Arabella, 79 million. Warren Buffett, 16 million. Ford, 51 million. Rockefeller, 26 million. Soros, 72 million. Tides, 45 million. A lot of familiar names there. Warren Buffett's involved in this?
Ford would be turning over in his grave if he knew they were doing this.
I know.
Yeah, so
Ford
that's
right there with Soros. You know why he doesn't like him.
Read the book.
Henry Ford doesn't like him.
He wrote a whole book about the Soros types.
Yeah.
And then people were wearing the Charlie Kirk assassin shirt. That was very disrespectful.
Like an 80-year-old man. Some old man goes, I'm going to wear the Charlie Kirk assassin outfit to the No Kings protest.
What values do you have?
I don't think anything. I think he's flapping in the breeze. His one value is hate Trump. I hate Trump. I love Rachel Maddow and I hate Trump. MSNBC told me to come.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then someone had a thing, Charlie Kirk had it coming, changed my mind.
Yeah, this was, I don't know if this was associated with it. This was more the Denver communist table.
Yeah.
And look at the people. They'd buy some distressed hoodies, distressed sweatshirts.
People have no skills. They've just been a loser their whole life, but now this is their chance to come together and get back at the jocks.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? They really took denim with patches.
Yeah.
They took that and made that theirs, and like now it's gay to wear denim with patches because of these leftist type. But I think we can. I don't even know what patch I'd put.
You kind of like. I think you, if it wasn't so gay and communist, you might be a denim with patches guy.
I might. I don't know what patches I'd put. So don't pigeonhole me in there. I wouldn't even have an idea.
But you'd be open to it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's Americana, I think, right? It's biker culture too.
It's like veteran biker.
Yeah, you come back from Vietnam, you get some denim, you start patching it up. And then it becomes a 25-year piece where you kind of add shit to it.
And you ride the bike. You never talk about what you saw over there.
Exactly. Never bring it up. Never tell your son about what you did in Ho Chi Minh City.
And then you grow your hair out long.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's Americana. And I don't know. We got to take it back. But it's like Birkenstocks. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
all right, next we have some funny posts and rebuttals that we're going to get to. This guy posted 1945, Dad beat fascism. 2025, I fight fascism.
You're wearing a sign.
You're wearing a sign. And then someone had a great point. They said, imagine standing on the sidewalk with a sandwich board and suggesting it's the equivalent of being a soldier in World War II. Delusional.
Storming the beaches of Normandy.
Getting mowed down in the boat.
Holding the line in Bastogne. Just getting shelled mercilessly, and you kind of like walked around with some older women and talked about how bad Trump was. That's similar. Totally similar.
Just like my dad.
Yeah.
And then
survived a POW camp.
Yeah.
All this shit. Iwo Jima.
Crazy.
We're not even mentioning the Pacific Front.
Yeah, that's a good point. It gets worse. Opposing kings since 1776. This guy.
This visibly Jewish man.
Visibly Jewish man.
In a Revolutionary War costume.
Yeah.
He likes a lot of Jews in the Continental Army.
He likes to blend in.
I guess. I don't know. But and that's a big theme of this No Kings thing is they relate to these characters from history, but they don't take them all as is. You know, like I think we went over a survey of World War II soldiers and what they thought of like Jewish people or what they thought of right wing or communism or stuff like that. So they take like these little facets that make them heroic, but they would never agree with the person. They would never agree with what the founding fathers thought about free white persons of good moral character. You know what I mean? So like they take like, I'll take the costume, but I'm not going to mention all of their beliefs. Oh, World War II, but that guy's a Nazi, you know?
Yeah.
He would have been a Nazi in the modern day.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how they pick and choose. And then like you're wearing the Revolutionary War outfit. Like, weren't you guys burning and pulling down statues of like regular people? Like George Washington and shit.
Very true.
Thomas Jefferson because he owned slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the founding fathers, right?
Yep. And then our next clip, this woman was mocking Charlie Kirk's death. Look what she's doing.
Hey! You ever heard about that?
So she's doing like a neck shot thing. She's unhinged and a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then we found out that she's an elementary school teacher in Chicago public schools.
Yeah.
So she's shaping young minds.
Yeah. Well, or she's leading a class who has the literacy rate of like 30%, which we've seen.
Yeah. You think she keeps her political bias separate?
I don't think so. I'm going to go out on a limb.
And this is a common trend. This guy works at the Wilbur Wright College.
Yeah.
And listen to what he said about ICE.
You got to grab a gun. We got to turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents got to get shot and wiped out.
What the fuck?
That's like, it's not really leaving much to the imagination. Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
You
Not even speaking in euphemisms. You're just laying it out. This is a threat.
We need to shoot them with a gun.
I am threatening people. That's crazy.
So that guy works at a college, and then this next guy is the equity director at UCLA and says, kill your masters.
He posted that. Good. Wow. These guys aren't even good at like keeping it quiet. Like they're not even good at being subversive. And that's what kind of the same thing with the immigrants earlier.
Yeah.
You need to shoot ICE. Are you kidding me? The feds are coming to your house.
You're going to get zip tied.
Right now, yeah.
And the common thread of all these violent rhetoric people, insane, unhinged people, is they're all educators.
Teachers in positions of power over
It's
children.
weird that they gravitate towards that industry because they really want to like make sure the future is educated correctly. And I found this stat about parenting versus homeschooling. Can you read the original and then the Andrew Torba response?
Yeah, it's a graph, and it says more than 40% of your parenting time has elapsed by the time your kid enters kindergarten. Once they get into middle school, it is 2/3 gone, just because your kids are away at school for so often. You see them after, maybe in the morning. And Andrew Torba said, if you homeschool your kids, you get approximately 15,000 more hours of parenting time with them that is not outsourced to mostly liberal women who hate you and want to convert your kids to their religion of death.
Doesn't that make sense?
It's an interesting point. And, you know, not everybody can afford to homeschool or have the time, but it's an option to think about too. If you're on the cusp, you know,
and if you do the math, like say
or if you have a co-op with like a little community or something, you know,
there's something there because if you do the math, and these are back of the envelope numbers, but say you work and you make $50K and then you send your kid to daycare. And then at the end of the year, that ends up costing what, like $20K?
Yeah, daycare is a big one too.
So then it's like you're spending for $20K. Then your $50K after taxes is like $35K.
So you're making $3 an hour.
So for $15,000, you're spending an entire year away from your kid. And isn't that like a no-brainer? No.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah.
And then this next story.
And people make that decision all the time.
Yeah.
People.
I think the future is really going to be homeschooling. And all these co-ops and people coming together.
Yeah.
Because everything's so fucked up. Everyone's so retarded and no one learns anything in school anyway. It's not like, oh, yeah, well, you went to Yale.
And we've covered it about how much school caters to the lowest common denominator. You know, the bottom 10% of the class is like slowing things down, interrupting, punching someone.
They get rid of the honors program.
Yeah.
You know, the migrants are on bikes and they have kids.
The bike migrants. You're really fixated on the bike migrants.
Well, that's what happened in my hometown.
Yeah.
My dad tells me, he goes, there's a lot of guys on bikes lately.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, around this nice neighborhood we grew up next to a farm, there's people with bikes wearing jeans in July.
And it's a certain type of like 10-speed mountain bike that's old and a little too heavy. Like it's not like a nice bike.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
And they're on their way to like some stupid job.
Yeah.
And they live above some stupid place with 10 other people.
I get you, yeah.
It's bad. I don't want to get ramped up.
Okay.
Next, this story, you didn't see this actually.
I did.
You did?
See this, yeah.
This guy, this is during the No Kings weekend. He saw one of his neighbors had a Trump sign up. The man is 5'6", and
here he is next to a woman.
Here he is next to a woman getting roasted, but he shoots his gun at the guy's house.
So he sees a Trump sign and he gets up on his little tippy toes and he pulls the Trump sign down. This was in North Carolina.
North Carolina's got a lot of problems.
And then he throws it on the ground and then he starts shooting. I think the homeowner shot at him too. And then this guy like returned fire shot.
Look at that.
Shooting out of the sunroof because you saw a sign that you didn't like. You saw a sign of the guy who is the president. You know? It's not like, oh, this is election season. He is the president.
Crazy.
Yeah. So this is what these people, the violent, it's not just rhetoric. You know, people are still setting up hunting blinds in West Palm Beach and shooting out random people who have a sign on their property. Like the rhetoric and the teachers are one thing, but it leads to action, right?
And that's the thing. It's not just, well, people say some stuff and there's a line.
Yeah,
like,
that we won't cross. It's like they're constantly crossing it.
Some of them are saying this stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them are ramming into ICE agents and shooting ICE agents. And then some of them are shooting normal people in North Carolina. It's not like it's in LA or New York City.
Trump won North Carolina.
It's North Carolina. Yeah. And then the last piece of our No Kings section, Canada had a bunch of No Kings protests, which is ironic because Carney and all of their prime ministers literally pledge allegiance to the King of England with every administration. We have a clip of that here.
I, Mark Carney, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors.
So it's like, yes, kings for you.
Yeah.
You literally have kings. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, well, don't get down or too depressed. It's going to get a little worse. We're heading into urban decay. All right, our first story from Urban Decay. A lot of repeat offenders again. This is like a weekly repeat offender section that gets crazier and crazier.
And I don't like it. Like, I don't want to just keep reading it. But we're kind of at the repeat offenders point where, you take for granted Trump's in power. Things are going to improve. That has not been the case. Like, the rogue judges, the rogue DAs are still as strong as ever. And that's why, these local fights are more important, right?
It's very true. And our first story, pipe-wielding NYC screwball accused of assault spree held on bail week after he was freed.
Pipe-wielding NYC screwball. That sounds like some sort of Three Stooges, like whoop, 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 whoop. Woo!
It's like some Elmer Fudd shit.
Yeah, it's cartoonish. It doesn't, your head doesn't bleed. It goes, whoop, it bends in, and then it springs back after he takes the pipe away.
You get a huge bulge in your head, but unfortunately an innocent woman was bludgeoned.
Yeah, that's the word. It's bludgeoned with a heavy pipe.
Yeah.
It's not an NYC screwball, and Popeye's arms didn't get big from spinach.
Yeah.
This is a hilarious title. He whacked 2 women and a teenage girl during a 5-hour rampage in the Bronx, and was ordered held on bail Thursday by the same judge he faced last week, who was forced to cut him loose on supervised release. Young girls. The 23-year-old maniac was roaming the streets thanks to New York State's lax bail laws after he was charged last week in similar random assaults on female strangers. So we have the Chicago, the loop puncher, and now we have the Bronx bludgeoner.
Yeah.
Or was he in the Bronx?
He was a Bronx
the Bronx bludgeoner. That's more alliterative. Come on, New York Post.
But there is something about the New York Post. We kind of hate on them for these headlines.
Yeah.
But then Scott Greer made an interesting point. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, he said the New York Post uses a lot of silly euphemisms, but the paper, unlike the vast majority of American outlets, reports on black crime and tries to include pics of the perps. Outside the Post, these stories likely would not be covered at all by the media.
And then if you think about it, the euphemisms is what makes it go viral, because we're always making fun of the New York Post for calling them some weird name, but then that actually gets more eyeballs on the story.
It amplifies it.
So New York Post could be on our side potentially.
They are, and I mean, the Murdoch family owns New York Post, so the same people who own Fox, but it is kind of, they're doing it in their own way, and we have to call it out, and we have to say, just black guy, random black repeat offender.
With the dreads and the dead eyes.
But they're playing their part, and they lead with the picture.
Yeah.
They lead with the picture. So good on them, and it's fun. It's a nice little cat and mouse game between the New York Post and society at large.
Yeah. And
pipe-wielding NYC screwball.
And I like the meme, I hate pipe-wielding NYC screwballs.
Yeah, totally.
All right, our next story is one we mentioned in the intro.
But to bludgeon someone is one of the most personal, crazy things to do. Hitting someone over the head with a heavy object.
Yeah.
Baseball bat. Bludgeoning.
Very crazy.
It's very intimate to do that.
Our next story is the one we mentioned in the intro. A 15-year-old was arrested 111 times.
Who has been arrested 111 times since August of 2023. Arrests included 55 car thefts and stealing from cars 45 times. At one point, police found multiple guns on the teen and took a phone as evidence. They say they found various Google searches on it, including, what is the charge for killing an officer? Is police murder a charge? And what is capital murder? Police say the 15-year-old was most recently released again in September.
You just can't just say, we're going to let you back out to your mom or to your home if the home is broken, without holding the home accountable. There's no accountability right now.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, those Google searches, is that him preemptively looking it up, or did he kill a cop and he's wondering if he's going to get in bad trouble for it?
I think he was thinking about it because they would have connected him to the police murder, I would say.
Maybe.
But you could tell that it gave him, the search said, oh, that's a capital murder charge. And then he has to go, well, what that mean? I'm only 15.
And then you see the picture they use, the anonymous picture. That looks like a white guy.
Oh, yeah. We know he's not a white guy.
With the combed over hair?
Yeah.
Like, come on. What are you talking about?
Dreads.
It should
Give-
have
put
like an
dreads.
afro or dreads. But he'll carjack. Eventually, he's in North Carolina, I believe, right?
Yes.
He'll carjack.
Charlotte.
He'll carjack the wrong guy and get shot, and that'll just be the end of him.
This is one that I hate to say it, but that's, I think, the only way he goes away is he gets killed either by police or an armed citizen who he was attempting to victimize. And 111 times since August 2023, that's roughly arrested once every 7 days. And we always talk about the iceberg theory where your number of arrests is never your number of crimes because you obviously get away with some crimes. So at a 2-to-1 ratio, he probably has 333 felonies of some kind, or arrestable offenses rather. But yeah, 15-year-old kid who just keeps getting cycled back out.
Every day, this is what he's up to.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone will get him, and then they're going to say, you killed a teenager.
Yeah.
He was a good boy.
Yeah. They'll use some sort of middle school graduation pic for him and see if they can whip up some Obama-era racial tension.
Yeah. And then this is the mayor of
Charlotte?
Charlotte, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think she seems like the type who's going to have empathy for the criminal.
Yeah, and we are big sellers on Minneapolis, the Somalis, the lawlessness, the inability to chase, for police to chase down suspects. And this, I guess, is our new city to sell that we're bearish on, Charlotte.
Yeah.
We're about to get to some more.
And then our next repeat offender, who is also from Charlotte. This whole section is a mini Charlotte section, and it's another reason why we're sellers if Charlotte was a stock. This is in Mecklenburg County. Can you read that story?
Yeah, the same county that released the killer of Irina Zarutska prior to her death. Back then, I looked up that the release was by Magistrate Judge Teresa Stokes, who had not even passed the bar. This is another Teresa Stokes thing. Democrat Judge Carla Archie sentenced Davion Crawford, who pleaded guilty to randomly shooting 5 people in North Carolina, to only 20 to 36 months in prison. He gets credit for the 350 days already served, meaning this lunatic will be out of prison roaming the streets again in a couple of months.
He randomly shot 5 people, like shot into a crowd.
And so the person who gave this sentence was appointed, was the one who appointed Teresa Stokes, the one who let out the Irina Zarutska killer, and we covered another bad thing she did last episode. So these are like the retards. Charlotte is so fucked because the judges are appointing other idiots who have their same point of view and are just letting young black, violent repeat offenders out on the street almost immediately. Here's our last story from Charlotte. Herbert Jordan, a Charlotte, North Carolina man who has been arrested 50 previous times, including for allegedly assaulting a police officer and women, has just been arrested again for assaulting a woman while out on bond. He has again been only given a $5,000 bond. So this is like another guy
assaults a woman, gets arrested, $5,000 bond, gets released, assaults a woman again, gets released.
Yeah. So you're kind of clearly seeing in the shitty justice system that we have in some of these stupid parts of America where there's no even mechanism for like a reoffender. You know, I always had this thought in my mind that if you messed up when you were on parole, you like just went right back to jail. Mm-hmm. Apparently that doesn't happen anymore in certain segments of the U.S., right?
Yeah, we got to keep trying. He's close to being rehabilitated.
It's all these light-skinned, I'm educated judges. Like they're letting out fucking violent criminals because they're co-ethnics.
And exactly. And being a judge, you think it's like, oh, you have to go to law school, you have to do these things. Is it the most common sense thing ever where you go down to the fire department and go, hey, who's the fire chief? All right, you're the judge now. Yeah. And he goes, all right, you carjacked the lady, we're keeping you.
That's 3. That's at least 3 years. I don't know what the sentencing guidelines say, but I think that's 3.
You know?
Instead of letting them out.
But then some judge in the robe will go, well, we're going to let you out on no bond.
Due to systemic and ultimately racial biases.
But some fat guy with a mustache will go, yeah, you're going away for a while.
Why'd you do that to that old lady? That's what he'd say, old school type of guy.
You know?
We're just running out of those people in positions of power.
A lot of educated people who are retarded, though.
Yeah.
And then we have another lady, Judge Elaine.
Judge Elaine Barber just released a convicted felon with a violent criminal history on $9,500 bond after he allegedly tried to rape a woman on a hiking trail. Prosecutors begged her not to release him. She did anyway. The violent criminal is now freely roaming the streets. And Here's another story from her. Judge Elaine Barber denied prosecutors' request to have accused DUI driver Yusuf Hassan held without bail in the fatal crash that killed a UCF student named London Harrell. And so that's multiple. An attempted rape on a hiking trail, which is classic scary shit. Hiking trail, that's like the isolated horror movie, start of a horror movie.
Like it's happening.
Yeah, and then attempted, sometimes I've seen enough episodes of Forensic Files to find a girl bludgeoned in the head with a rock to death after being raped on a hiking trail. That's like a common trope. But Judge Elaine Barber just lets everybody go.
And keep in mind, a bartender will get arrested if they overserve someone who does something bad, and they work at a bar.
Yeah.
These are judges.
Yeah.
And they have nothing. They're more dangerous than the criminals at a certain point.
What happened to the liability?
They're more dangerous than the criminals because you have the criminal locked up. And you're like, oh, we got him. We're good. And then she goes, let him out.
Yeah.
That's like villain shit.
I know. That's Bane. He opens the prisons. He
Yeah.
gets on the prison boat and he goes, open the door.
This guy tried to assault a woman. We caught him. This guy carjacked 110 people. Let him out.
Let him free. Let's see what he does next.
Let him free.
Last story of bad judges. This is about actually the district attorney, Larry Krasner. Philadelphia progressive DA Larry Krasner previously dropped kidnapping charges against a career criminal with a criminal history who got out on $20,000 bail. Well, he just kidnapped another woman whose remains were just found. Krasner even admitted he could have done more to prosecute this criminal. No kidding. How about not letting violent criminals go free? Krasner's election is in this November. We don't have to live like this. Dirty Dreads guy, nice young girl.
Sad.
Dead. Yeah.
Dead. And then people on CNN, their number one thing they're talking about is not all this crime and all these repeat offenders who are going free. It's racism. And listen to this white woman talking about how racism is such a big problem, and she's like trying to side and win favor with the black people.
I'm a white woman that has lived in a red state my entire life, and I can tell you when I'm around white people, they test the racist water. They test it on people like you all the time, and they'll try to say off-color things. I put my hand up. It absolutely happens, and you're fortunate that maybe you haven't experienced it.
Can I just say, literally this August, a white person said the N-word in front of me.
And the vice.
Big problems.
That's huge. She remembered it.
You could go on the show and say, guys, in Charlotte, North Carolina, if a black person does a violent crime, murders somebody, they let him out for free.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of systemic racism is like systemically letting out people who are criminals and violent because they're black.
Yeah, systemic reversal.
Yeah.
Like where you just have to do the opposite. It's crazy. But someone said a word, right? Someone said a word.
Oh, that's a problem. That's what we got to focus on in America. And it's like there's people getting arrested 120 times.
And then this woman, you know, I don't want to say it. That black woman who said somebody said the N-word in front of me. She looks a lot like, you know, the type of girl from the Larry Krasner story who could be kidnapped and murdered by a guy who he didn't prosecute appropriately. I don't think the Ku Klux Klan is coming for her. I think Jamal might have a kidnap party or something. You know, like what's the real danger? And that's part of the disconnect, right? What's the real danger? And there needs to be a mismatch happening in their brain to continue to push the agenda that they want. And a denial of reality, right?
Yeah, what's the real danger is the key takeaway. Yeah. All right, good news. Now that the government's still shut down, EBT is getting shut down too?
Basically, it's on the cusp. The shutdown needs to last a little longer for EBT and Section 8 even as well to fail. But this post says SNAP benefits cannot be paid. Due to federal government shutdown and lack of federal funding, SNAP benefits cannot be paid. Actually, I'm going to read, that's from Feeding Pennsylvania, but I'm going to read this other one. Because Republicans in Washington, D.C. fails to pass a federal budget, causing the federal government to shut down, November 2025 SNAP benefits cannot be paid. Starting October 16, SNAP benefits will not be paid until the federal government shutdown ends and funds are released to PA. We will notify SNAP recipients when payments can resume, and we will let you know when to expect SNAP payments. So
I like the shutdown.
If the shutdown keeps going and Republicans don't concede anything, it ends up hurting Democrats because all their voters are on this.
And all the people with fake government jobs go home.
Yeah.
Like, I like it.
I know. I really have and we saved like a month of expenses, and you know how much we spend, and all of our stuff that really matters, like ICE, is still going on. The military ICE,
Let's just
whatever.
keep it shut down.
All the dumb shit and the extra shit, I don't care about. So, and this will, I think it happens if the shutdown keeps going. So it's not like happening yet. They're just kind of more preparing people that we're not going to be able to fill your cards again.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're now moving on to uplifting gold, and we do have some uplifting stuff today. We went back down memory lane. I actually went through all of the assets from all 300 episodes, watched a bunch of old episodes to find all my favorite shout-outs, which we're going to get to. But first, I wanted to play a compilation of my favorite piece of lore from the show. You guys know there's a lot of lore on the show. There's Doppels, there's Kicking Over, the Rock Stacks, there's Snarf Snarf O'Banion, and my favorite, being obsessed with Rob Smith. So this is my favorite lore from all 300 episodes of Rob Smith obsession. Please play it, Nick.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche. Rob Smith said that on his story. I received that. I spiraled. Yeah, went crazy. And now everyone just keeps talking about it. Everyone keeps talking and tweeting about it and commenting about it.
You hear about Rob Smith?
Hey, have either of you two heard about Rob Smith having ceviche after his tennis match in Miami? You haven't? Where have you been?
Rob Smith. I can't believe Rob and his buddy got ceviche in Miami after tennis.
Rob Smith is here, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Smith, straight from a tennis and ceviche course.
Hey, did you hear about Rob Smith? He got back from Miami from playing tennis, and he went to go get some ceviches, get the cabana. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, did you hear that Rob Smith had ceviche after tennis, like last week, with his buddy?
Who the hell is Rob Smith?
I saw this guy, Rob Smith, he had ceviche at the cabana after tennis the other day. It's like, what the heck?
As a lot of us know, Rob and his buddy got ceviche after tennis in Miami at the cabana a few weeks ago.
Well, the cabana, we just added that. That didn't actually happen. There wasn't a cabana.
What the heck? You're talking about ceviche?
Yeah.
At the cabana.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You didn't hear about that?
tennis club now.
So did you know that Rob, after he played tennis with his friends, he went to Cabana to have ceviche? Yeah, who's Rob?
Hey, Daddy, did you know that Rob Smith and his buddy had ceviche after tennis in Miami?
Jig,
Yeah.
Rob's the man.
Yeah, he really is.
I mean, my ceviche is, we're not in Miami, but I just got done with tennis practice, and we're going to head down to the cabanas after this.
Let's make up a scenario, all right? Going on a metaphor. Bear with me for a moment. I have a friend. We all have a friend, okay? Your friend's name will be whatever you want. Let's say my friend's name is Rob. Rob Smith. And you know Rob, great guy, lives in Miami, plays tennis with his buddies, whatever. Eats ceviche, goes to cabanas, you know, he lives a good life. We're all friends with Rob.
Have you heard that Rob had ceviche with after his tennis match in Miami? Did you hear that?
No!
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
Did you hear that just the other day Rob Smith had ceviche in the cabana after tennis with his friend? Now everybody's talking about the day they had ceviche, and God, I hope it never ends. Everybody join in! Did you hear it just the other day? Rob Smith had ceviche in the cabana after tennis with his friend.
Hey, you hear that Rob drove his Vespa down to a business meeting in Miami Beach? You didn't hear about that?
No.
It's the same Rob that had ceviche in the cabana after his tennis match. No? Don't ring a bell?
No, didn't ring a bell.
No ceviche, Rob?
Well, Rob orders ceviche
after his tennis match. That's just what he needs to do to get down old swing back. Hey, I'll see you down the Cabana in Miami.
Hey Rob, hope you're having fun in Miami at the Cabana. I'm very jealous, Rob. Fleckus is going to be there tomorrow and he's bringing ceviche. Again, very jealous of you. Get your tennis racket ready. Get your tennis racket ready. My agenda is to say, oh my gosh, what a good friend.
Sorry, I was imitating Rob eating all the ceviche after tennis at the Cabana.
Rob, all I'm gonna say is Miami, ceviche, tennis, now.
Smells. Me and my friend had cabicho in the Cabana. It was after tennis. Right, boys.
And God, I hope it never ends.
Isn't that crazy how everyone was talking about it?
Yeah. I like when people tell old people. I like when they involve the elderly in Rob shit.
Oh, did you hear Rob Smith had ceviche after his tennis match? And everyone's just talking about it. And all it was like a brief Rob story.
Yeah.
And it just made me go insane.
We can make reality whatever we want, I guess, is the main point.
And it's just a matter of what you choose to harp on. And then I love...
The guy who works at the liquor store.
Yeah, the liquor store.
Guy forcing people to hear about Rob.
The Walmart guy.
That's good
All
shit.
the old people. It's absolutely insane. We love it. And now, to really end the show, we have a shout-out compilation from all the great shout-outs from over the years. We're going to let that go, and then I'll see you before we do the outro.
Oh my God, you did not. Are you serious? My favorite.
There you go. What do you think of that one, Fleckas? Best news podcast of all time. How's that for uplifting gold? It's like my 20th fish today.
Hello, I'm Andrea Ivanova. I have the world's largest lips, and you are watching Fleckas Talks the podcast.
Shout out to Fleckas Talks the podcast, greatest news podcast of all time. Thank you.
Fleckas Talks is the best new podcast of all time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Expect to clear slides. Smooth air this afternoon. I can get into Vegas 12 minutes early. Weather in Vegas perfect average, about 78 degrees, sunny skies. So sit back and enjoy the rest of the flight. Just want to let you know that Fleckas Talks is the best new podcast ever. Enjoy it.
Richard Rapport.
Fleckas Talks is the best new podcast of all time.
If you're not watching Fleckas Talks, the best new podcast in the world, I'm gonna pull this freaking...
Fleckas Talks, the podcast. Greatest new podcast of all time.
We cannot wait to see what you'll accomplish next. And remember, Fleckas Talks, the podcast, is ranked the best new podcast of all time. And that's very cool. Hannah and Steven appearance.
You guys are doing great work at National Pulse. I probably say this too much, but I love the Fleckas podcast. People can subscribe to that too as part of the National Pulse. Great stuff, Raheem. Thanks, bud. And see you soon.
To introduce Karen Howard, the greatest new couple of all time.
Really quick, just before we get started, I just wanted to take the time to remind everybody to check out Fleckas Talks, the podcast. Even after 100 episodes, still the best new podcast of all time.
Hey, I just want you all to know that Fleckas Talks is the hottest new podcast show of all time.
The Fleckas podcast gets 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in just a few moments with Flight Attendants prepare for landing. And just a reminder to go to YouTube and subscribe to Fleckas Talks podcast. And have a great day, and thank you for choosing America.
Absolutely nuts. Check this out.
There's one thing that I was mention, if you're not already subscribed to Fleckas Talks podcast. Oh my fucking god.
He almost lost the audience.
Also, Lakeshore BMX, while we have a second, every Friday there's this wonderful podcast that comes out called Fleckas Talks. It's rated the best new podcast of all time. And Lakeshore BMX, if you're interested in hearing about Rob Smith and ceviche and just what's going on in the world, why don't you give it a listen?
Fleckas, rap boy.
Fleckas Talks podcast, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Fleckus Talks podcast is now on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Is that featuring Richard Rockwood?
It is. Yeah, that was most recently.
Hey?
Yeah, recording.
Fleckus Talks, best new podcast of all time. Very cool.
And lastly, Fleckus Talks, the podcast, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Hey everybody, my name is Frank Adult. You're listening to Fleckus Talks podcast from Frank.
Oh, and if you're looking for something bass, Fleckus Talks the podcast is ranked the best new podcast of all time, streaming new episodes Tuesdays and Fridays every week, so definitely check that out on YouTube. That's it for me. Have a great evening. Until next time.
Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We've got some uplifting gold coming in the second half. Second half of this game is brought to you by Fleckus Talks, the podcast, voted best new podcast of all time. Take that score sheet, flip her over.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding?
Attention Walmart customers, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the Fleckus Talks podcast. Ranked #1 best new podcast of all time. Thank you and have a base day.
It's Uplifting Gold section. It's about 4 show watchers that love the show so much they decided to do a parody. Fleckus Talks the podcast. The best new podcast of all time!
That was very cool.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Thank you guys for all the shout outs. Thank you for supporting and watching all these years. We're going to keep going for as long as we're alive.
Well, chill, Fletch. But yeah, no, 300, it's a landmark, you know? It's something.
Yeah.
How many podcasts make it to 300?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, right?
And we're very grateful we couldn't make it here without you guys. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckusTalks.com for a bonus land that comes out tomorrow. And enjoy a special version of the outro song.
We're
We are gathered here today because the idea of freedom cannot be chained by the hands of time.
Peanut butter!
Got it. All right, son. Thank you. Let's give him a hand.